Hello, and welcome along to the Filibusters. Yeah, it's the Filibusters show.
So, a woman puts on toast, and she puts the bread into the toaster, and she puts on the toast. And the toast, she waits, as you do when you put on toast into a toaster. Well, no, you don't. You put bread into a toaster. Why would you put toast into a toaster? You only end up with burned bread. So, lo and behold, she put in the bread into the toaster, and she waited. And then the toast popped up, and lo and behold, you could see a likeness of Jesus Christ in the toast. And she was amazed, and she looked at the toast, and she ran into her neighbour. And she brought the toast in. She said, look at this piece of toast. It's got Jesus Christ in it. And the neighbour said, I can't believe it's not Buddha. Ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to the Filibusters Present Comedy Hour on LCR.ie. You could be listening to us on 99.9 FM if you're in the Limerick area, or you could be watching us through the World Wide Web on our YouTube stream. So, I'm Stephen Ryan.
I'm Adam Lahey.
I'm Donnchadh and John.
John Spillane.
And we have a brilliant show ahead of us. We've lots of news.
And we're live streaming for the very, very first time tonight.
Very, very first time. So hello to all our watchers, I guess. I normally say listeners, so that threw me right off. We have news. We have talk of TV and films. We have we have music, but I have a poem mixed into the bag. Poem, interesting one. We'll be talking, of course, about all the events that are coming up in Limerick, and all the stuff that I guess is going on. So
and a lovely quiz.
And we've a lovely quiz. Tell us about the quiz, Adam.
This week's quiz. Now, I'm, to be honest with you, I'm running out of things to do in the quiz. We've had opening book lines.
But you're so imaginative, Adam.
I know, right? The hat. The hat all. But this week is going to be mottos of countries. You know, for liberty, equality, fraternity, France, in God we trust, America. We're going to get some obvious enough ones. Countries you know, but
there was a great opportunity for a joke about the French tendency to surrender there. It was ample.
Yeah.
Tell us the joke, Donnchadh.
No, it's gone now, isn't it? With a fart in the wind.
You see,
yeah. Elton John wrote a song about that. What have we in the news?
Oh, yeah, I believe it was called Rocket Man.
Loads of things in the news. What would you like first? We've got the One Direction manager is sound.
Yeah,
he's sound. He went.
Sound.
Yeah. Do we remember Michaela McCollum Connolly? That is a hard name to say.
No.
Michaela McCollum.
Not even a little bit.
No. She was kind of like Marge Simpson, if you recall.
She was caught herself and another young lady as drug mules.
Much like Marge Simpson.
Yeah, much
like Marge Simpson.
Drug mules, and they
in some episodes,
in
sure.
prison.
I do recall this. Yeah, yeah.
They're in prison now in Stephen. Where are they?
In Peru.
In Peru, and the One Direction manager, being a sound boy, being an Irish fella, which I don't know why he felt some kind of connection with him being Scottish, but he.
They weren't Scottish.
Michaela is Scottish.
And to be fair, if international stereotyping is anything to go by, Peruvian prisons are going to be tremendous crack.
No, Michaela's from Dungannon. Yeah, but the other one, Melissa Reid, is Scottish. And so he, being an Irish fella, said, I'm going to visit an Irish woman in a prison, brought her fried chicken and Easter eggs, and gave families of all the prisoners who were visiting that day a free One Direction ticket. But he didn't tell anyone he's going, he just went, showed up and gave her free stuff.
What? Is that really the core audience of One Direction?
It was a strange move, but there is a kind of a fair play. These are people going through a hard time. You know, there is a bit of that to it as well.
Yeah, no, it's quite nice.
So it's quite nice.
Yeah.
And also,
it would have been nicer if he had done it like a la Prince and the Pauper and did it completely in disguise without, anybody knowing.
Sure, who knows what the One Direction manager looks like?
Well,
yeah.
You could have went in and said you're the One Direction manager and they would have believed you.
Could have said you're the Other Direction manager. Anyhow,
if we're talking about nice things, just something I saw actually briefly. I saw a video of today that was released where a couple of years ago I saw an interview with one of the WWE's lesser known stars back then, Daniel Bryan, and he was just there with a young kid.
Who are the WWE?
The World Wildlife Federation.
All right.
Federation stands for Federation.
Yes, that was the pun I was making. But anyway, He just went in and it was a brief thing with this young boy with cancer, and it was a very heartwarming thing. Yeah,
that's not nice at all.
But then
bring down the tone.
Yeah,
a young boy with cancer sound.
It actually gets sadder, so
okay,
not really so. But anyway, then they kind of caught up. They did a catch-up thing. I saw this video was sort of a catch-up, and they said, well, the boy kind of became sort of a backstage mascot in WWE. They never publicly had done it, but every time they were in town, he would come visit them, and he knew all the wrestlers now for the past 3 years of his life. He was about 11 now. He was 8 when he first met them. And there was a video now that his father went in and said, look, he doesn't have much long left to live. And so on the day before WrestleMania, they had all the superstars sit around in the chairs like they were the audience, and then they had the young fella come out like he was a wrestler. When no one had arrived yet. And
Is this an Irish kid?
No, American.
Okay, I saw this picture of this dude right online.
Anyway, he went and he had a match with Triple H and just beat him in a match with his hero Daniel Bryan, giving him the 1, 2, 3 pin thing. And it was something nice I saw today. The boy's dead. It was put up because the boy passed away. A couple of stickers there, but I just thought it was a nice thing that I thought of. Apparently the guys thought it was a funny thing.
They were going, he's dead. And you called him the mascot.
But yeah, he was like their backstage mascot.
They were swinging him around.
If Triple H had managed to beat him, it would have been so bad.
Yeah, if he kicked out at 2.
Oh, that butterfly really got to fly, didn't he?
Yeah. I just thought it was a nice thing that I saw today, but sorry for trying to bring a bit of niceness into the... Let's just talk about our willies, so...
Recently, I've been catching up on my KFC-related literature, and I'm deviating to KFC for the simple reason it was KFC was brought to Michaela in said prison. Now, I was reading up on KFC because there was these things going around on the internet that apparently they changed from Kentucky Fried Chicken to KFC.
Correct.
Because of mutated chickens.
There's not enough chicken in the chicken to call it chicken.
No, they've got horrible... Have you seen these photos?
Because it's genetically modified, they're not allowed to call it chicken.
But now, this doesn't apply at least to our chicken. I don't know about in America and Peru respectively. But I was reading up on the, I think it was kfc.co.uk because I wanted to verify my facts. And they were saying that they actually asked the question on their website on the thing, and it said like, don't give me guff. Is it real? Did you change it because it's not real chickens? And they said no, it is real chickens, and it actually was just a marketing thing. Now maybe in America,
another one of their marketing things I'll share for you in a few seconds.
In America at least maybe because I mean I've had KFC in America and it is the most disgusting. And I love KFC. I think it's delicious. And, well, I won't say nutritious, but it was at least delicious. And but in America, it's manky. And they give you these biscuits with it in America. Biscuits.
They're not biscuits!
They're not biscuits.
No! I know full well what biscuits are. I've got a top 5 of biscuits, and American biscuits don't even feature in the same acre of land. They're awful stuff. And what are they even made of? Is it just butter and flour?
They're kind of like dead scones. That's
awful.
how I would describe them.
Yeah, they're
like those of the strictly alive skulls that walk around.
They look like they should. They look like they should be salty, but they're not. They taste like air.
Oh, they're awful, awful.
Anyway, before we go, just quick. I was listening to a Radio Lab podcast last week, and there was a mathematician who had done a lot of research on how people come upon their favorite numbers and what it's just about them, and they pretty much investigated. They investigated that. Who knows how many spices there are in the KFC bucket? But essentially, it was a marketing decision because there is something je ne sais quoi mysterious and sexual about the number 11 as opposed to 10. So that's the reason they settled on that one, because they wanted to have it complex. 10 seemed too fascistic, but 11 seems like there's just something a bit bizarre about it. Isn't that interesting?
That is a bit.
That's interesting.
Left to centre there. I wouldn't be
kind of on board with mutated chickens, but the number 11 only.
I'm completely against them mutated chickens. It's disgusting.
It's just 2 willies, isn't it?
With me and mutated chickens, my stance is like I just want my hands.
Well, if you're obsessed with willies.
But if you're talking about like sexual connotations with numbers, 11 is just 2 willies.
No, Adam. That's not what comes to mind. What comes to mind when I hear the number 11? 11 of something, like 11 herbs and spices, not
you just
2
think of 11
penises.
No, visually the 2 numbers, 1 and one.
Are there men attached to these willies? Or are you thinking like a Jeffrey Dahmer's basement sort of scenario where they're just in pickle jars together?
Well, it's essentially impaled.
Baby
Adam.
And there's one like.
One willy. Three willy.
Oh, in an early mathematician exam, fellows, could you pull down your trousers so I can complete my test? I've run out of fingers and toes.
Yeah, my adult.
I've just run out of fingers. I need to count to 11. What can we add?
Oh.
Why are you so obsessed with penises? What's wrong with you?
Because I live with you.
Too good.
I'm sure the connotation there.
We sometimes have sex.
Insane. Now,
it's not a sin to me. Get one of the outrageous things.
people have been smited in Italy this week. Smoked him.
Small. Yes, he's correct.
Would you like to elaborate on the smiting?
Yeah, apparently, in advance of his beatification, would that be the correct word when one becomes a saint?
Oh, blessed are the cheesemakers.
Do you become blessed at a beatification, or
no? It's canonized to become a saint.
Canonized to become a saint.
Beatification is.
Beatification becomes blessed. Okay.
Oh, blessed are the cheesemakers.
At his canonization, 2 days prior to his canonization, Pope John Paul II, they had a statue dedicated to him. It was a cross, a giant cross, and a giant crucifix, and it was in a curved shape. Why was it in a curved shape, Adam?
It was in a curved shape because the sculptor Enrico Job wanted to evoke the scars of World War II. So this, if you can imagine what it is a big. Anyone see skateboarding? They have those half pipe things that you go up and down.
Yeah.
It's like one of these, but put up 180. So it's on the right. If you're watching this online here, it looks like this. And Jesus,
I don't know
what
when
top of it now. But it's to evoke the scars of World War II. Now, what of that shape? I'll put it to you. What of that shape evokes World War II? Just a big bendy yoke.
Well, I mean,
it's
well known that the Japanese Empire originally actually made their way into Burma on skateboards.
Maybe.
It was actually very interesting. It's actually bicycles, and the few British dotted in outposts around Burma heard the thousands of bicycles coming from far away. The rustle of tires, thought it was artillery and scarpered, and it was bicycles. The Japanese invaded Burma on bicycles. Anyway.
But the thing is, it isn't even like, okay, it would maybe in like the shape of a quarter or a swastika or a British cross or something. You know, it'd be, you get those things. I don't know how this evokes the scars of World War II at all. It's ridiculous.
Maybe it's going back to your
You seem a little annoyed at it. Why is it annoying?
Because sometimes people just claim this is what this means.
Would you rather
the big bent thing?
Would you have against bent things? Would you rather the cross was straighter so it reminded you of a willy?
Yeah.
Well, the
going back
crosses
to Adam's.
Are all the stories about phallic obsession this week?
Let me just check. Actually, yes, they are. Now that I'm looking at what we have coming up, they're pretty much all.
I'm looking them up by googling penises into Google and sees what comes up and makes news out of it.
My God, it's a good thing that this is the first show we haven't done naked.
Hello to everyone listening from YouTube.
Hello.
Thanks for tuning in.
Good afternoon. Anyhow, I never introduced with how people can contact us, because after all, this is a call-in show.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so if you want to contact us, you can text us on 083 44 666 55, or you can Twitter us at our Twitter handle, which is at the Filibusters, or you can, what else can you do?
You can get onto us on any of our Facebook pages, which is the Filibusters Comedy Club Dolan's, Flying Pig, Galway Dewdrop, or Dublin, or Oolala, or you can get onto us now on YouTube. If you're on our live feed, you can just comment on the stream and we will see it in the studio, and if you're sound, we'll read it out.
So I'll call out that text number again in case you want to text us in, because I love getting texts. I don't know what it is.
And I've actually got a rather enticing listing on Craigslist.
To 083 44 666 55. Anyhow, news again. Back to news.
That's the news coming up. The Simpsons. The Simpsons had their very first Lego episode, which was like a co-branding thing. It was roughly based on the theme of the Lego movie about how a father and daughter, the only thing they can really do fun together is play with Lego.
This already sounds great. I want to see this episode of The Simpsons.
Apparently.
Oh no, someone's hit a table. Is that hitting the table in delight because you love this episode of The Simpsons so much, Stephen?
I somehow don't think so.
No. What is this thing with Lego? Who decided that this should be a thing?
Wait, no.
Lego is the greatest toy there is.
No, it is.
First of all, how do you think the world works? Do you think a guy just decides things are going to be things? Lego is now a thing. Duplo, you're gone.
Somebody did that.
No, they didn't. Everyone did when they bought Lego because it's amazing. It's great fun.
Okay. What's your issue with Lego?
Yeah.
And what toys would you rather when you were a
fascist
child?
Who doesn't like Lego?
Well,
Stephen.
It wasn't something that came into my realm until I was watching The Simpsons, and it intruded upon my.
So you've never heard of Lego before?
No, I've heard of Lego.
What did you play? What did you play with as a child, apart from
cars and tractors?
Cars and tractors.
You never had Lego at all.
Stephen, the beauty of Lego is that you can build your own cars and tractors.
I had Meccano once.
Oh, well, that's the more advanced version of Lego.
That's the blogger version. Yeah.
My dad had Meccano as well. Yeah.
I had a cousin, he used Meccano.
Yeah, you can build a schlong out of it and dig your own car.
I think I used to build a kind of a go-kart and it would drive itself. So
you're digging your own father grave here, Stephen.
Lego. Anyhow.
Yeah, the word go-kart alone there takes you way back to country status.
Yeah.
On The Simpsons, you saw The Simpsons. Tell us about it.
Yeah, it was awful because of this Lego. But I wanted to find out what John's plan, because you went to see this Lego movie.
I went to see it twice.
The Lego movie is amazing. But also, Lego is amazing.
No, tell me, who decided to make Lego movie?
I don't know, studios, and then they made a load of
money, but it's still a brilliant film.
Because no. They decided to make them because for years now they've actually been making Lego like straight to DVD movies. Like they've got so many franchises that have cameoed in the main movie. They had like Lego Star Wars movie, a Lego Batman movie, a Lego all of these kind of movies, and they had Lego games, Lego Batman, Lego Marvel Heroes, Lego Indiana Jones, and they said these are all doing so well. There's such a demand for them. Why don't we do a big theatrical release of all our brands, put them together, and because they have licensed so many brands like Batman and Star Wars, they have all these things feature in their movie, big bucks. That's why they made it. They made lots of movie. I hate Stephen.
Well, I know I don't want to sound too harsh here, but I hope you never have children.
Why would he do so? They have to play with Lego and he sits there annoyed.
The Simpsons.
I can imagine singer-songwriter Lou.
Okay, what's his issue?
No, right, this was all kind of a thing in Homer's mind that because he was knocked unconscious by Lego and everything was made of Lego. And they were just building things. There wasn't even jokes in the episode. They were just building things.
The word sounds alien even coming out of his mouth. It's like he hates saying it. It's like when Hitler had to say the word Juden, he's like, I don't like that. Lego.
it was an awful thing.
I love Lego. If you ever actually played with Lego, you'd love it. It's brilliant.
No, he wouldn't. Have you? Is this your first time ever meeting Stephen Ray? He hates everything that's fun. No, all he likes is military hats. That's all he likes.
He can make military hats.
No. Stephen doesn't like
unions. He also likes
Stephen has to see the logic in something. So Stephen would be playing Lego and be like, why don't we use real bricks and actually build something?
It seems so pointless.
A small shed or some kind of wall, perhaps.
Lego seems so pointless.
Well, of course it's pointless, it's fun!
You can't let children play with pointy things!
And what's more, there's a picture on the box of, say, a spacecraft, and they have to build this spacecraft. They already give you all the parts. It's not like you have to use any creativity at all. You just have to stack them in a certain order.
Actually, Stephen, that's a big point of the Lego movie. There's a guy who likes to follow the instructions and make the spacecraft as per the box, but then the children and the creators and stuff like to use the pieces to make their own things. So they make wacky creations using their imagination.
In The Simpsons as well, Bart was building schools and instead he built a big thing. And it was just...
Yeah, it's promoting creativity, Stephen. That's why you hate it, because you are the villain of the Lego movie.
You literally are, yeah.
Have you anything more to say about The Simpsons, or are we going to be Get out of this. And
Also, the villain is
actually,
played
no, can we
by-
put this to a vote and finally we will
Oh,
decide
yeah, let's
whether
just-
or not no amongst all of us, just because there's 4 of us here.
No, put it out to the people.
Okay, put it out to the people. Is Lego awesome or is Stephen Ryan a Nazi?
Okay, so Stephen Ryan,
That's
Nazi.
you're answering.
The 2 options: Stephen Ryan is a Nazi, or Lego is pointless.
Okay, no, not quite a Nazi.
Not a Nazi, but just not a good person.
Not a good person.
Not a good person who's a member of the Nazi Party.
So yeah, if you've just tuned in, we get this clear because I think our viewers are going up here on YouTube.
Yes.
Is Lego brilliant or is Stephen just a bad person? Get onto us on.
Bear in
Facebook,
mind,
on-
he is wearing that
Yeah.
hat inside,
or
so.
leave a comment under the box there.
I don't have a ball patch.
No, he earned. Stephen earned.
Oh, you're giving yourself no good person points there.
Jesus!
By insulting weird gay Adam.
Stephen earned himself the hat once he got his absolute coaching status. He had to have that.
Jesus. Stephen, apologize to Adam and let him see your willy.
Adam, you're getting an awful bit.
Oh, like, come up here, research the news, get the live stream going, and all it is Adam, you love willies, don't you?
I was subconscious up until this moment. Let's just say. But when someone brings up the number 11 and your instant gut reaction is to say it's 2 willies. It's obviously 2 willies.
That's what you were saying. It has a more kind of sexual attractive thing to it, weren't you?
Well,
But that's what you're saying.
sexually attractive willies. Are you?
No, but that's what you were trying to picture this.
So I said sexually attractive and you thought of willies.
Also, Donnchadh wasn't trying to picture this, that the people at KFC were trying to picture this.
Yeah.
that.
So if they
And-
say 11 is more sexy, what else can be more? What can you go?
What else can be more sexy than 2 penises? That's what you were about to say, isn't it? What can be more sexy than 2 penises? I'll tell you, Adam, 3 penises.
Oh God.
I love how we're enjoying this episode way more than any of our listeners could possibly be enjoying it.
Play a song, we'll come back to it.
Okay, yeah, we're going to play the song. This is School Days by Chuck Berry.
So, Stephen, we've got some comments in from viewers as per your being wrong or Lego being
I just
right.
want to point out that our first live stream ever, and I'm after pouring water all over myself in front of the
Oh, I
camera.
hope they cost
So
that.
yeah, they did. I poured it. I looked down. I looked straight at the camera. I was like, oh, well, that was all like prime viewing. So cheers.
So, all the way from Prague, Ashley Manning, thanks for listening. She says, Lego is far from pointless when you stand on it. Oh dear. And Mr. Stephen seemingly had no childhood. He just came out of the womb, the manly man he is now. And another comment just in, Darrell Fitzgerald, Gerald Fitzgerald, when I tuned in a second ago, you literally all looked at the camera at the same time. That God, I had stopped touching himself by that stage.
Oh wow.
So well done, Darrell. And thanks for emailing in. As Ashley says, you were incorrect, Stephen.
No. What Ashley actually said was,
You came out of the womb a manly man.
I never.
You're poor man.
I was always a man.
Oh, you should be running in elections. You're an absolute politician.
Well, you're winning no Eurovisions this year, son.
And that is a great segue
You don't have
into
the
our next
beer
bit of
first.
news. Yeah, Austria won the Eurovision. Did anyone watch the Eurovision?
No.
Who was the first transgender to win the Eurovision?
It seems to be.
Dustin the Turkey was very
You're
close.
incorrect. Just
No, who's the first one?
Dan International of Israel.
Yeah.
Oh.
Viva Maria, Viva Victoria, Cleopatra.
But the most interesting part of this is that. Okay, so it's transvestite that won. It's from Austria. I've heard the song. It is catchy, but.
They preferred the term weird freak person.
But they let's move on really quickly. It's the Eurovision has always tried to stay away from politics. However, it did kind of invade it a little bit this time because
Did you see the Poland entry?
yeah,
Oh my God!
boobs everywhere.
They're just selling what they got, but it was outrageous. It was boobs and cow milking. That's what they're selling.
This
Yes.
sounds amazing.
When the winner, worst ironic name for a winner, was asked if he wanted to give any messages to Vladimir Putin after winning, and he says, I don't know if he's watching now, but if so, I'll say it, we're unstoppable. There was a bit of a, this is obviously in Eurovision, it's a gay rights thing won. However, a lot of when Russia got points, there was booing from the crowd. And people who gave Russia the most points: Armenia, Azerbaijan, and Belarus, which were all former Soviet republics. And what else do we have here?
Yeah, and the Belarusians are quite the fans of old Mother Russia, aren't they?
Yeah, Belarus would have very tight relations with Russia. Also, funnily enough, they wouldn't be heroes of gay rights either.
Yeah. And at the moment, there is a wrestler named Alexander Rusev who comes out with The Ravishing Russian, a Russian woman, and she seems to have a lot of control over the Bulgarian brute. So that also proves the point. I thought it was a relevant political fact.
There was also a time where Lukashenko, I think is his name, the premier in Belarus, was making jibes about a German minister who was gay. So there is that kind of homophobia.
Was anybody actually watching last night? And I'm just wondering, because I need to know, is Marty Whelan still doing the excellent commentary?
Oh yeah.
Apparently Graham Norton made a good a gaffe because he was clearly drinking while he was doing it, because during his commentating he was, oh no, my wine.
Well, did he take over Marty Whelan?
No, he doesn't want in England.
Because Marty Whelan.
Boom! Double representation for Ireland.
Yeah.
So shall we move on to the quiz?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Or should we like more news?
No, we'll go for a bit more news.
Okay. Do we all remember? Oh no, this is a different bit of news. This is a better bit of news. There was a woman in Florida who didn't really like her neighbours. Now, I don't know. Do you like her neighbours?
I like some of our neighbours.
Yeah, some of our neighbours are sound. But basically, if you don't like your neighbours, you don't say anything. This woman, she went and got the keys of her next door neighbours who were living in like a prefab kind of thing. Didn't quite like them. Thought they were of a certain class. Got the keys, rang a demolition company, and brought them to knock down her house.
You quite explicitly can't be doing that.
No.
Yeah, no, that's a bit of a faux pas as a neighbour to knock down their house.
I mean, $25,000 worth of damage now clearly wasn't a really expensive house, but still, don't do it.
Yeah,
but
but
lousy though.
to be fair,
it's ridiculous.
I'm trying to speak in PC terms, but this woman sounds like a total nut job.
Oh yeah, if she's got the face, but she looks like what's that blue cartoon dog?
Oh yeah,
She looks like Droopy the dog.
Droopy. That was
Minister
a good
of Florida.
impression at all.
Just had it knocked down. How mental is that?
I'd love if that was like the whole plot of the movie
that's
Neighbours.
Florida. That is like in Florida, like you can shoot people if they're on your lawn. So maybe these particular
Stand your ground.
stand your ground, yeah.
No, I'd love if that was
but
the
stand
plot.
your ground, not sneak into their house in their own way. And their house knocked down.
You'll be amazed by what you can get. Like do you know
Yeah.
why they have caution hot on the top of coffee lids in McDonald's? Because some loser of a woman bought one of the drive-through. This is true. Was driving along, and while driving, perched it down between her legs, right, with the cap off to continue driving. Took a harsh turn, spilled coffee all over her thighs, burnt her thighs, and sued the bejesus out of Ronald McDonald. And consequently, they have caution hot on the top of things. So now they might just have to slap. Maybe you'll have to pay a special housing tax to make sure that people aren't allowed to demolish it, just because they're not. This woman might have gone to her Saul Goodman type lawyer beforehand and researched this particular. It's like, yeah, you can totally get away with this from this.
I
get that
the
reference.
absolute worst one. You get in those things. When we got a new microwave recently, I was reading the thing of it, and it says, "Do not put pets in the microwave." Because you know, ages ago, people would put like little pigs or something in the under part of their old agas and stuff, just to dry an aga, a big stove. And they dry the pig out, keep more in the winter. Well, apparently,
must be a Protestant thing.
Well, if you have an aga, some gobsheen put a pig or no, a kitten in a microwave to try and dry it out because the cat got wet, and yeah. So it's on.
Do you not mean?
No, the voice
That would be
brilliant. But yeah, no, because some.
I thought the cat survived. It was just now liquid. Like, oh, there's my bowl of cat in the corner.
Oh, quiz.
Yeah,
Quiz.
Let's do the quiz now.
Me and John have to leave.
The Cone of Silence.
Okay.
Oh wait, country mottos. I think Stephen should have a go this week.
Would you like to go this week, Stephen?
Okay.
I think Stephen and Donnchadh will give it a go.
Alright, everyone get out while I...
Into the Cone of Silence with you!
Well, I mean, now, if you're just tuning in now, or if you haven't listened to us before, we do a quiz every week where you can win 2 tickets to our show in Dolan's at the end of the month. This month is particularly good because we're starting our Edinburgh Festival Fringe preview season. So you can come 2 free tickets to see Shane Hughes if you can beat the 2 lads at Country Mottos. This is like, you know, on your flag or on your national team, you'll go Ireland and our motto. Ironically, we don't have a motto, but mottos you will be familiar with are Liberty, Equality, Fraternity, France, In God We Trust, America, or Advanced Australia. Australia.
Is that Australia's one?
Yeah, that's Australia.
I want that in a tattoo. Like now.
So here's number 1. No one provokes me without impunity.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Number 2. It is blank's destiny to rule the world.
Better.
Number 3. This is my favourite. All for one, one for all. And number 4. We wish to remain what we are. Number 5. Prosperous and great country. Now I'll score those again really quick. No one provokes me with impunity. Number 2. It is blank's destiny to rule the world. Number 3. One for all and all for one. Number 4. We wish to remain what we are. Number 5. Prosperous and great country. If you know those, get onto us on any of our thing. You can text in 083 44 555 44 666 55 on Twitter at Filibusters, or comment on our YouTube feed. And we'll get the lads back in now.
Yeah, those are really interesting. Those are brilliant. I want to start doing that. Like looking those up as a thing I do.
Yeah, they're crazy.
I want to know all the countries. Like that is fascinating.
Well, my favorite is that middle one, because the lads are back now. We can't say it.
The middle one will be interesting when you hear it.
You'll like that.
Is there do Ireland have one?
We don't.
Do we not?
No.
Let's give it one.
Oh, that's our pondering.
Oh, that's our pondering for the end of the show. We will keep that. That's very good.
I'm already pondering. Let's get on to something else quick.
What else do we have? Do we have a student report?
We don't, but I'm going to play my poem that I promised at the start.
Introduce your poem.
John Cooper Clarke will be playing in Dolan's on the 20th.
Are you going? I really want
I'm
to go.
going to go see that because I've been dying to see him for a while. I was considering going to Dublin, but then I realised he was from Limerick. And when they come to me, it's better.
Does he tour with the band?
I don't think so. I think he goes solo.
I think I'm going to go to that.
Oh yeah, it looks really promising. And
although it says on the posters that he's still as relevant to the 1970s, and there's just no way that's correct.
I'm looking forward to it. Anyway. So this is evidently Chicken Town by John Cooper Clarke. And welcome back to the Filibusters show. We're now going to be discussing film with our resident film critics, Adam Lahey, Donnchadh and John. So what have we seen in the cinema this week, gentlemen?
I know that I think, but I have a few two wee numbers that I'd like to talk about. Pick it 3, right? I went to see 2 last week now, press screenings. One was Ilo Ilo. It was a Singapore film based during the recession. Won the Camera d'Or at Cannes Film Festival as the debut film of a filmmaker. Very good story. You can tell there's an awful lot of cultural context behind it. But a Filipino nanny who goes to work for a middle-class family in Singapore who are gradually losing more money and she has to get go. And she kind of becomes attached to their unruly son, and eventually, because he's like a latchkey kid, so to speak, his parents are never home because they're always working, and despite the fact that he's got an awful lot of disciplinary problems, he becomes very attached to this woman, and then she has to go back. And to be honest, that film was really, really moving once you begin to get the context of it, because they seem to really very much reflect the idea that Singapore, it has no real. It's allowing its culture be diluted. Like, I mean, an awful lot of people, like the upper class, would insist on English speaking, as like to try and they want to become the upper class wanted to become an English speaking country, and there's a bit of a cultural loss there. And it is very interesting and shot very well. But that said, I'll say it right now, loud and proud, if you're not into big arty films, don't go near this one, because it's as Mike Leigh. This is Asian Ken Loach kitchen sink 1970s stuff, like real family drama dirt. Now, after that, then on the very same day, I went to see a wee number that.
Where did you see that one?
I went to see it in Dublin in the IFI, where it is actually still playing, and is well worth a look. Now the next one I went to see will be on general release next week, and it's definitely worth a look. It's the directorial debut by a fantastic film writer. Did anyone see Drive?
I did not see it, but I've heard great things.
See it, but I just
Very
never
good.
got
Scribe
around.
of the screenplay of Drive, Amini Behran is his name. He has done his film debut now. It's from a Highsmith novel. Patricia Highsmith. She wrote the Ripley novels, you know, The Talented Mr. Ripley, etc. Basically, they're all Europhilia stuff, all about rich Americans traveling around Europe, and every single Europe in the late 1960s, and every single European is an absolute mustached scallywag. They're just out to cod all the Americans, right? Great stuff, very good. This film is called The Two Faces of January, right? And it's flippin' intriguing. Viggo Mortensen is in it, brilliant as always. Kirsten Dunst also in it, and very good, really showing her acting chops. And inside Llewyn Davis and soon to be Star Wars is Oscar Isaac, who is ruling the show as I'm concerned at this point. Just a handsome brohim the boy is, and he's which wasn't meant to be a Jewish reference. Just brohim is just the way I said it. I know he's Jewish, whatever. Anyway, this one is really a doozy. If you'd liked The Talented Mr. Ripley.
Yeah, this sounds brilliant.
Right, basically, the couple, Viggo Mortensen and Kirsten Dunst, are holidaying in Greece. Oscar Isaac plays a wee American who has a tendency towards conning tourists, but he's also got daddy issues, which are just great to drive into a plot anyway. You can hammer them in as long as they don't get boring. But anyway, he seeks nurturing, so to speak, with this fellow, Viggo Mortensen, who it transpires is a conman. He catches them in a compromising situation and opts to help them. Now, it's shot brilliantly, all on location. I love film shot on the Greek islands because it just looks, it's so easy to make them look like a glorious time. Like, you know, the scenes in Godfather 1 based in Sicily. The whole film will bring you to mind of that, where everyone's wearing a white linen suit and everyone's seemingly flippin' loaded, but everyone's got a dark, horrible secret. I really, really recommend this film. This is a good one. And finally, I got around to watching what people had prompted to be an absolute turkey, which I'm happy to report it is not, because my favourite film critic, Mark Commode, really championed this one. Transcendence, which is a new science fiction picture by Wally Pfister, who is Christopher Nolan's DP for all of his previous movies since Memento, and it's a real doozy. It was made for way too much money, 100 million by the count. And it all apparently went on star power. But I think what let so many people down is there's no huge doozy of a fight scene or anything. Anyway, long story short, it's about a software developer who is attacked by played by Johnny Depp, who is attacked by an anti-technology terrorist ring, and his missus, Rebecca Hall, and his mate, Paul Bettany, conspire together in order to essentially upload him online and make him immortal, and he becomes digitized, but he becomes far more powerful than they. Now, this is an idea that's been tried many, many times before, but never so successfully as this. This is a real meditation, and like all great films, there's a love story at the heart of it which carries it through. I really don't understand the animosity for this film, but I promise you, if you hop on the bandwagon now, you'll be able to say in 2 years' time, well, I liked it from the start, because I guarantee you this one is going to be one that people will look at back at more favourably.
And something I want to give a quick shout out to is on Friday evening I went to the final screening of the Trade Court International Film Festival at 69 O'Connell Street. Now they actually tour. What they do is they take 2 lots of short films that are all under 3 minutes long. They put them together back to back. You see the first 22 and then you see the next 22 after a short break. They go from city to city. So they'll be in London, Paris, they're going all over the place. They were in Limerick for the Limerick City of Culture. They had a screening the previous Friday, this Friday, and then they went to all the schools during the week. And it was absolutely brilliant. The standard was fantastic. Because it's 3 minutes, most of those selected were animation or something with something cool visually to say, but most of them were very entertaining. Like most short films try to be a bit too dark and edgy and try to fit as much kind of art into it. Some of them were very light, playful, hilarious. Fantastic night. One of the most fun nights I've had in the cinema in a long time. And if you look up, I'd say you'll be able to see the selections of them. And some of them are available on YouTube, like Inappropriate Flash Mob was one of my favorites. I've spotted it on YouTube now. And really entertaining, great stuff. And something definitely to check out. I got to vote actually in the film festival, so I'll be looking forward to see who wins it.
So another doozy for the city of culture. Can we get a round of applause for those great bunch of lads? Huzzah! I'll pronounce my film of the week this week to be The Two Faces of January. Definitely check that one out if you can. It's a doozy.
Just before we move off of talking about film and TV, I'd like to talk about Inside Number 9 again.
Oh,
very good.
Excellent.
This isn't something I've seen.
It's great.
This is terrific. This is by far and away the most excited I've been about British television in a long time.
Reece Shearsmith and
Steve
Pemberton are both, I've mentioned it already on the show,
co-creators of the
League of Gentlemen, and they've written this, and it is an anthology of 30-minute long programs, and they're all kind of somewhat macabre. With a comedic undertone,
which is at times and a massive understatement. In particular, I read a very good review of the last episode in which someone said the greatest joke in the whole episode was just right in the final moments where it pops up, the credits pop up and it says BBC comedy, and you're reminded that this is a comedy because it is outrageously dark. If you thought the League of Gentlemen got dark, this echoes the very first series of the League of Gentlemen, where it is very difficult to tell whether you're watching a comedy or a horror.
It's a brilliant crossover.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Really good.
It's daring you to laugh at times that you don't want to.
Oh yeah, it's excellent. We best move on. I'm going to play a song, and we're going to come back with the events. I'm going to play Mick Flannery's "Take It on the Chin" because he's going to be playing in Dolan's on Friday night. So enjoy.
That was Mick Flannery with "Take It on the Chin" from the Evening Train album.
That's correct. His debut album.
Great album, concept album.
Debut. That's correct. Yeah. It's still his best album.
Sorry about your orders. I don't think so. I think the one after that was his best. White Lies. Yeah. His new album. He has a new album out this week, which is what we're going to get onto in a minute in our events section. But he has a new album out this week called the way back or something like that. Give it something.
I think it's Misery Beards and Check Shirts, isn't it?
It's absolutely brilliant. It's got some great songs on it, so check it out. It's on Spotify if you're on Spotify, and if you've got money, go buy it. It's a great album. And events coming up this week. Thursday we've got Keith Barry, his Brain Hacker in the UCH. On Friday night we've got Mick Flannery and Dolan's. Also on Friday, Kasabian are playing the Big Top, which is, I think that's going to be a pretty big thing. No pun intended. On Saturday we've got the reenactment of the Siege of Limerick in King John's Castle. Stephen, is that going to be your history head? Is that going to be a big thing?
I don't know. I've
never been at a reenactment.
I've never been either.
I'd go simply for the reenactment factor of it.
Yeah.
And from Thursday to Sunday we've got the Royal.
That's the way. Can I just point out, saying I'm going to reenactment for the reenactment factor is like saying I'm going to the restaurant for the food factor.
Well, you just go,
I'm going to the cinema for the film factor.
Like what do these people just tour the country going, this is what we do all the time? Reenactment.
I'm going to sit down for the gravity under my arse factor.
So yeah, go to the reenactment Siege of Limerick on Saturday, and from Thursday to Sunday we've got the Royal Picture Show Film Festival, which is going on at 69 O'Connell Street, which I think Saturday and Sunday are the main days of that. They're just showing films. They're doing even I think it's a Polish film night.
Yeah, there's a special Polish screen. That's the Sunday. They've got the man who was.
Could they not have had Irish films in there?
The woman who was the editor, I think.
Oh, is it a woman?
Of The Life of Brian.
That's correct. Of all the Monty Python films.
That's gonna be. I'm definitely gonna go see her.
Yeah, and I went to the last one. I was at most of the screenings in the last one. Brilliant, really good.
I went to see Blue's the Warmest Colour. I thought it was terrific.
I didn't go see that at the last one.
It was very good.
But
it was really good. Yeah.
Our last event is Tuesday the 20th. The Filibusters Comedy Club present Edinburgh Fringe Season.
Woo!
A lot of Irish people are going over to do their solo stand-up shows, and we want to support them because they're going to be brilliant. And it's
you should get that. You've quite a long fringe.
Yeah, I do, but it's mostly going backwards. So our headline this week for our Edinburgh Fringe Season is Shane Hughes. He's a comedian from Tullamore. We've worked with him a little bit, and he's very funny. So if you win this week's quiz, which I hope you can because I don't want the lads to win, you will get 2 tickets to see Shane Hughes in Dolan's on next Tuesday night.
I hate the lads. I hope they lose.
Is Shane Hughes one of the chosen people?
Shut up! I hate you.
One of the chosen people.
Yeah, like is he a Tullamore Jew?
Oh.
Oh, dear God.
Oh.
Oh, sorry, listeners. Sorry, YouTube.
YouTube get to see that horrible grin on his face as well, which is even
Well, they
worse.
also see
An extra apology out to you.
Wait, sorry. Absolute apologies. We've forgotten something really big, which is I like that.
The hotel.
I like
Can we do one quick round of I like that?
Oh, yeah.
Quick round of
Right,
of course.
everyone. Stephen likes things and he doesn't like things. Things he likes are weird. Things he doesn't like are weird. We always every week try and challenge the things that he thinks are or are not weird. John, can you give us an example of something Stephen would like?
Lego.
Something Stephen wouldn't like, Donnchadh?
Bigotry.
Great. Now we don't have time to do our full round of this. We're just going to do one quick round. Stephen will, if he likes it, will answer I like that. If he doesn't, he will say I don't like that. John?
Ambrosia cream rice.
I like that.
Oh, Harvey's Bristol cream sherry.
I like that.
Duck eggs.
I like that.
I think I win this round. So there we are. I like that. And viewers, if you're listening for a long time, we're absolutely sorry.
I think we all draw that round. If you're
I think I got the biggest
1-1-1. 3 penises.
Okay, so now we will have the results of our quiz. Lads, if you can get it, answer in now, and no one seems to be beating you so far, so I think that this week is going to go to you. Number one, country's motto. Number one, no one provokes me without impunity.
Scotland.
Yes, it had to be Scotland, didn't it? No one provokes me without impunity. Number two, it is blank's destiny to rule the world.
I'm going to go with Austria on this one.
Yes, which, when you think of...
Is it actually Austria?
It is Austria.
Oh,
I've actually heard
Austria. Rewrite.
Yeah, it is Austria's
Yeah.
destiny to rule the world. In hindsight, guys.
Oh.
Come on. Yeah.
Yeah, sweet.
That's like if our one was, we're a hungry bunch of lads.
Number three, all for one and one for all.
Helping everybody.
Three Musketeers, where do they rob their thing? All for one for all. What country has that?
It's not France, so I'm going to run with...
Dumas. Where was Dumas from?
He was French. I'm going to run with Switzerland. Belgium would be my...
Yes, you're
country.
right.
Oh, very good.
Very good. Okay. Number four, we wish to remain what we are.
I'm going to say Northern Ireland.
No. Does anyone want to forward one?
We wish to remain what we are. What country would have...
Which country enjoys stagnancy?
Portugal.
It could potentially racist.
Portugal, I'm going to
I think Spain.
Luxembourg.
Oh, okay.
Who'd want to remain Luxembourg?
I know, that's it. And the final one, and no one has beat you so far, so you've got the caravan, you're in. Number five, prosperous and great country.
Star
North
Trek.
Korea.
North Korea, that's
Had
right.
to be North Korea. There's no other country so great or prosperous.
There we are. No one has beat us this week, so there we are. The Filibusters win. Try again next week to win.
Woo!
See Shane Hughes live in Dolan's for our Edinburgh Fringe preview season.
I don't think I'll use my tickets. So,
Okay, folks. We're going to love you and leave you now. So I've been Stephen Ryan. I still am.
I'm Adam Lahey.
Donnchadh and John.
John Spillane.
Good night, you.
Very good night to you.